Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have the FIFA 23 Antony card to review. We are taking a look at a card who is 5-star skills, 3-star weak foot, left-footed, while being a person who has a high medium work rate, okay? Very interesting stuff there, because let me tell you guys something about Antony, okay? Before this card was released into the full game, right? This is right now the 28th, so this is still the Ultimate Edition of FIFA. Before this card was released into the full game, which is going to be, I think, the 30th, actually, he was 15k on the market, okay? 15k, and now he's at 59k, okay? The reason why he's in 59k is because of the type of player that he is in that position, because this card can be rotated to right wing or the right mid area, which it's just the way they do position changes nowadays. But he looks pretty saucy. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, you could see that most people will be giving him a dead-eye chemistry style, a finisher chemistry style, depending on what they're looking for. Because when you give this card a finisher chemistry style, you do massively improve his dribbling capabilities, but you do massively improve the shooting on the card as well. Because to be fair, the pace on the card is already in a fantastic area. Because here's the thing, right? Yes, he has a 3-star weak foot. This year, I feel like having a 4 and a 5 is definitely very, very nice. After using the 5, it's insane to have a 5, right? But this card has 5-star skills, okay? And 5-star skills is still going to be a helpful thing to have in FIFA. McGeady cancels, ball roll scoops. Those skill moves are always going to be super effective to use. And the thing is, too, is that with cards like this, usually with the 5-star skillers, they kind of skill pretty quickly, okay? They skill pretty quickly. So with this card, having the skill moves, having the dribbling capabilities is definitely a huge plus, because the dribbling stats for what he is in game is in a decent area. Yes, reaction stat is 75, which is weird. Technically, you can give him a marksman chemistry style to boost those main dribbling stats in that area. It's really up for debate what you'd actually want to do. I think consistency with finishing is definitely something you want, right? For me, I think strong foot on the strong side is usually the go-to. I am going to be using him in different positions. Lamb, striker, in a 2-striker lineup, playing as a left striker on getting behind, all of that good stuff, right? So the passing on the cards in a decent area, defensive stats non-existent, and then for physical, he has a 79 for stamina, which in the beginning of the game is a very normal thing. So yeah, we're going to be trying him out in game. We're going to see how he performs. Hopefully he is a beast. Stuff like, they gotta just shoot it, man. Good job, bro. 5-star skills, super helpful still.
Can he get onto this? Is it going to be?
Antony's still kind of saucy, huh? Still saucy.
Defending well. Antony. Forward they go, chasing the game. This could square the game.
Oh, thank goodness, man. Thank goodness. Song doing really well for me. Oh, there's no way we hit the post, man. Come on.
No luck keeping possession. And it's Gabriel Jesus. Wonderful chance.
Let's go. That actually worked out. Oh, good stuff. Nice little finish there with Antony.
Now with Silva. Good movement. Ronaldo Silva. Now with Rashford. Must score.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness, Antony. Let's go, my boy.
Well, that's one for them to pursue.
Oh, he did like the bounce shots from the touch. That was weird. I didn't expect that.
Now with Silva. Chances on. Can he convert?
Nice. I just needed to work that small space to get a consistent finish to the right side.
Well, they're on the scent of something positive. Can he finish this?
Nice, boys. On delay.
Have a short corner here. Can he finish this?
Let's go, Antony. Good finish, my boy.
And will they be able to play it in behind the defence? They've given him too much space. Bernardo Silva.
Let's go, Antony. Good finish.
Park. He's trying to create something.
Well done. Good job, boys. That fake shot is really, really effective. That's amazing.
Well, that's just exceptional. He reacted so quickly there.
Can someone get on the end of this?
Antony with the defense. Go, Antony.
Well, it is without question a very special day. This his debut match. Stuart, what should we expect to see from him?
Well, they were looking a bit thin in the middle of the park. They had to reinforce, and it's a good bit of business in that sense. It'll be interesting to see how he
Oh,
settles
wait,
in.
Stuart, they might
Oh, that's it. That's all I needed. Antony did a fantastic job right there. Love that finish by Holland.
defending.
Go get real.
Delightful pass. Holland. He does have pressure to deal with.
Beautiful.
He's gone and found
Dude, I like how Holland is like kind of target man and then push forward. Like it kind of it's really, really good for this game.
Palinia. Park. Possibilities inside the box. Oh, big opportunity.
Woo! There it is, boys. The 5-star skills, my G. The 5-star skills. It's crazy.
Additional minute. Park. Oh, a nice looking pass.
Nice. Antony did really well right there. Well done, Holland. Okay, guys, so whenever I mess up the recording, because I have like music in it, sometimes I'll do like the recording afterwards. It's kind of good because I think that some people would actually be interested in me kind of just like doing this and like talking about the general build-up play of how the game kind of works. So yeah, with the next gen version of the game, obviously it's very park the bus oriented. You have to work with a lot of small little dribbles to kind of open up the space. Sometimes people will make those mistakes at the back. You know, when you're actually attacking against them, they'll pass the ball back to you and you have some space to work with. That was a very good opportunity there with Antony where the left stick dribbling by itself worked out perfectly fine. I know that you guys like to see the controller in the top right corner so that you guys can kind of get an idea of what we're going for here. So this is a very good example of being able to utilize his base card stats for pace and his skill moves to open up the space for myself like crazy, right? Like in that situation there, I should have made the extra pass to the runner there because I would have had a very good opportunity to just go for a first time strike because like I said, 18-yard box shots, inside the 18-yard box shots, they work out really, really well. But yeah, the things that I definitely noticed the most with Antony's card is definitely going to be in the skill moves in the pace department, right? That's going to be a lot of the things that you see because let's say, for instance, you're using this 4-2-3-1 that I showed you guys recently. It's a very good formation to use when you want that width in your team. In his case, I don't have to necessarily boost the pace even more. So it's just very, very helpful, right? So over here, you see a little bit of a slow buildup. We work a little bit of spaces here and there. I take a strike there, which I shouldn't have. Again, you still got to make that extra pass to be able to score an opportunity like that. But there were a couple of things that I could have done there, but it's very hard for me to see what I should be doing against some of those opportunities because my brain is constantly thinking about compensating the controls of the game because of how, to be fair, very sluggish the dribbling is, right? Like I wish it was more responsive, like it was like a one-to-one thing, but that's kind of like how the mechanics work. In a situation like this, you can see that what I actually end up utilizing is that's a mechanic where you can press L1 and then you use the right stick to push up or downwards. Very, very helpful mechanic. Okay, guys, so final verdict on the new Antony card. So guys, in regards to how he performs in game, we're trying him out on some different things. I think that the Deadeye chemistry style is not a bad option either, honestly. The reason why it's not a bad option, guys, is because dribbling is the way that it is nowadays, so it doesn't really feel like you have to massively improve it. So if you were to give him a Deadeye, right, if it actually worked here, what's going on? What's going on? Deadeye chemistry style. If you were to give him a Deadeye chemistry style to improve passing, it wouldn't be bad either. I'm going to tell you guys why. It's going to be either or, depending on the situation that you want. Passing stats this year, in the beginning, and I think it was the same thing last year too, okay? Passing stats is a really big deal, okay? It was a really big deal. I really like players that pass the ball really well. When players don't have crazy passing, they mess up a lot, okay? Players that can hit those certain through balls, those driven passes, all that good stuff, it's very helpful to have, right? So improving the passing would not be a terrible thing because the finishing being in that area would also not be terrible. However, it depends on your playstyle because let's say, for instance, I'm using this card in the left-sided positions. Giving him a Deadeye wouldn't be bad, okay? Because the shooting in this game, to be fair, to EA, they did a pretty decent job, okay? Inside the 18-yard box. However, he does have a 3-star weak foot. So if you notice you getting into his 3-star weak foot sometimes, that's where you want to maybe give him a finisher. Improve the finishing as much as possible. Instead of an 8, you're giving him a 15, which obviously would be a massive improvement. Doesn't make a difference either or. It does when it comes to whatever you want most. Do you want passing more? Do you want dribbling more? This year, I'm not as set as being like, oh, make sure you only use dribbling because the mechanics work differently this year, okay? The card is still really nice. For me personally, I was using him as a striker for some of the games, but he does feel like mostly a sided position player, and I really enjoyed using him in the sided positions. I thought he was great. I at some point switched him to 4-2-3-1, playing in that lamb area, and I noticed that in FIFA, a lot of the times when it's players that actually play right wing, left mid, right mid, they still play lamb and ram really well in a 4-2-3-1. But there's some cards that play even better. But like I said, guys, attacking EI this year has been improved. So these guys last year, sometimes they'd be a little bit generic. This year, not so much. Like sometimes they make very good angled runs cutting on the inside, right? So that's what you have to look for mostly when using these types of cards. Your playstyle is going to dictate what type of shots you end up taking with this card, right? For me, I was, the power strikes are really, really consistent. I like hitting them a lot. Maybe sometimes I would go for a finesse shot because finesse shots inside the 18 is actually pretty nice too. But for the most part, it's going to really revolve around the play style that you end up going with. But I like the card. I do feel like he's up there in price. If we're going to be doing a comparison between the right wings, it's mostly going to be to the Premier League players, right? So we have Mohamed Salah, who is significantly more expensive, so not a comparison that makes sense. Raheem Sterling can be played in that position. Sterling is not bad. Sterling doesn't have 5-star skills though, okay? So that's something that you have to take into consideration. Mahrez is different because he's a medium work rated player instead of a high medium work rated player, which again makes a difference in regards to playstyle on the pitch, right? Haven't used the Mahrez card yet, so we'll see if we ever, get to him at some point. Jadon Sancho, honestly, Jadon Sancho didn't look too bad. He didn't look too bad so far this year. If you actually want to use him in those positions as well, so that wouldn't be a terrible option to work with. But I mean, for what you're seeing over here with the Manchester United, Brazil, and Premier League links, I do feel like the price is up there for now. I do feel like that's definitely the case, but he's still pretty nice. Lucas Moura for 9K could definitely be a card that people are underrating a lot because he's actually set up very nicely on that Hunter chemistry style, right? So food for thought with this bad boy right here, right? Especially if you don't really care about the 5-star skills. So the main thing, guys, right, is the 5-star skills. That is going to be the huge part. The huge part for the skill moves when it comes to comparisons, not necessarily between Ziyech, even though you could totally use him too in this year's game, 100%, you could totally do it, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Mahrez, Sancho, Antony for those links could be very nice to work with. Maybe at some point we get to a point where we actually try out the Jadon Sancho and the Riyad Mahrez card. But for now, Antony, pretty solid option for the 5-star skills. Kind of up there in price though, I will say. Kind of up there in price, but I liked him. He's pretty cool for what it was. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.